If you're waiting for mortgage rates to come down so that you can finally buy a house, forget about it, because mortgage rates are not coming down anytime soon. At least not this year, not next year, even probably not in the next 5 years. And I know that this sounds like a very bad news, but unfortunately, that's the reality. And the mortgage rates that we have today are probably the lowest, because starting from now, mortgage rates will continue climbing. And mortgage rates of anything between 7 to 9% will become absolutely normal. And that's a problem, because that is making it impossible for the average Americans to buy a house. Look at this number. 65% of the US households are priced out of a newly built homes. So 65% of Americans can't even afford the houses that they're building. So most likely are building these houses for the top 10%. They're not even building many houses in the first place because we have so many problems. There is definitely a problem with the shortage of houses in the market. And you know what? They're trying to blame companies such as BlackRock and Wall Street because they're just buying all the single family houses in the market, which is why the average person is priced out. It's very easy to blame these companies, but you have to understand that these companies are just companies. They are investment firms. They take investors' money, they invest them in whatever the investment was the best for them. The problem isn't Wall Street. The problem isn't BlackRock. And I know this sounds like I'm trying to defend them. The real problem is that the government itself has ruined the entire housing market. And now look at this from the White House, stopping Wall Street from competing with Main Street home buyers. So government is trying to present itself like it's trying to save the average American when the government itself made it impossible for the average American to buy a house. Let me show you how and why the government is about to make it even worse than it already did it. High mortgage rates were absolutely the norm. Look at the data over the last 40 years. You will see that mortgage rates have been consistently going down since like at least 1990s or 1980s. So mortgage rates of anything between 6, 7 or 8% were absolutely normal historically. The only time in history that we saw very low ultra mortgage rates were after the 2008 financial crisis and since COVID started in 2020 and 2021. And this is absolutely not normal because at the end of the day, your mortgage is an investment for someone else. Ask yourself, who exactly offers you that mortgage? Somebody is giving you the money, that loan, for the next 30 years. So that person who has given you the loan should make a profit on his investments. And a lot of people imagine that it is the bank that is loaning you the money. Unfortunately, that's not the case. The bank is always the middleman. The bank is not in a position to give you loans for the next 30 years at 2% interest rate because the bank is going to make a loss. And a bank is a private company. The bank is there in order to profit, in order to make money for its shareholders. Otherwise, it's not going to be in business. Which is why what the banks typically do is that they will take the mortgage, they will turn them into a security, and then they will sell them to investors in form of mortgage-backed securities. So as long as there is demand for these mortgage-backed securities on one side, the banks will continue getting you a mortgage, giving you a mortgage, turning them into security, and selling them to these Wall Street or investors or anybody pretty much who want to invest in the US housing market. The real question you should be asking yourself is, how was it possible that we got such low, cheap, ultra low interest rates or mortgage rates back in 2012, 2013, and then in 2020 and 2021? That's because the Federal Reserve stepped in and said that from now onwards, we will be buying the mortgage-backed securities. Now, that's completely insane because it's not the job of the Fed to keep in subsidize the housing market, but that's what they did in order to save the economy in 2008. So imagine you have a bank, and the bank no longer wants to offer mortgages because house prices are going down. Now you have a client, and that client is called the Federal Reserve. The Fed says to the bank that go and offer mortgages, and here is a guarantee that I will buy all the mortgages that you will offer. Now, suddenly, there is this huge demand for these mortgage-backed securities, so the bank doesn't actually cares about giving you a higher rate. The bank can offer you 2% or 3%, not because the bank is so generous, but because the bank knows that I will take this mortgage now and I will sell it to the Federal Reserve. And I want to ask you a simple question. Who do you think or where do you think the Fed takes that money from? obviously the Fed will take it by printing money. That's how you have inflation. That's how you increase or raise house prices to unsustainable level that today the average person is not in a position to actually buy that house. And that's why it was the only time in history, starting from 2008 to up to 2022, where mortgage rates were ultra low. That's not something normal. And here's the thing. Wall Street has used ultra cheap loans to buy most of the houses since they had all the cash and they could borrow way more money than your average Joe. And the government has helped them. Back in 2020 and 2021, you were scared. You did not know what's going to happen. They scared you with this pandemic. And frankly speaking, you probably didn't have a lot of money sitting in your bank account. So maybe you could save for a down payment. But on the other side, you have Wall Street. These people have a lot of money. These people have a lot of resources. And because interest rates were insanely low, they could easily just go and buy these houses. They could borrow a lot of money, buy a bunch of houses, because that was the state of the economy at that time. And because the Federal Reserve kept interest rates so insanely low and kept buying mortgage-backed securities in the market, that kept mortgage rates so low. Yes, a lot of average Americans have benefited from that by being able to buy houses at an ultra cheap mortgage rate. But at the same time, the real beneficiary was, in this case, Wall Street, because they knew how to play this game. They understand the market far better than anyone else. That's why it's very important to educate yourself financially. That's why you have to understand the markets. Now, if you want step-by-step strategy on how to understand the financial markets, how to make investments, how to know how Wall Street is investing in the stock market and the markets overall, then just join the Investing Academy. The link is in the description. Look at Jay Powell actually admitting that MBS buying should have stopped sooner. The chairman of the Fed says that we kept buying these mortgage-backed securities for too long, which kept mortgage rates so insanely low, which allowed Wall Street to keep buying these houses, which was the main reason that houses today are so insanely expensive. Now, if you understand anything about the economy, you would know that you can't be running forever your economy on cheap money. Sooner or later, it is going to cause massive inflation, and you will have to raise interest rates, and you will have to increase mortgage rates. So naturally, mortgage rates are definitely going to rise. That's what Wall Street understood, but the average Joe did not understand that because, again, nobody is teaching you financial education, nor in school, nor in college. So when inflation caught up with the economy, the Fed is raising interest rates and now nobody can afford these houses. But Wall Street has already locked itself in for multiple houses for 30-year mortgages. They purchased a lot of houses, which drove house prices insanely high. And that would not be possible if the Federal Reserve and the government did not help them to do that. Now, the Fed will let its MBS to expire, and this is the first reason to realize why mortgage rates are not coming down anytime soon, because that is going to create more supply than demand, which will keep rates high. What truly determines your mortgage rates is the demand and supply for mortgage-backed securities in the market. Suddenly, if everybody who wants to buy mortgage-backed securities, it's an investment, then we can offer them a lower mortgage rates. But if there is no demand for these mortgage-backed securities, then the banks cannot possibly sell them, so the banks will raise the mortgage rates. Now, higher mortgage rates means that investors can make higher return on this investment. So the higher the return they are going to offer to investors, the more likely they will buy them. So that demand and supply is going to determine the mortgage rates. Now, the Fed is sitting on trillions of dollars of mortgage-backed securities. And now the Fed has put a goal in front of itself that we no longer want to participate in the housing market. So we will let our mortgage-backed securities to expire. Now, usually what the Fed would do is that they will refinance these mortgage-backed securities. So one mortgage-backed security would expire, they would use that money and they will buy another mortgage-backed securities, keeping mortgage rates or keeping demand and supply for mortgage rates stable so that mortgage rates will not rise. But what the Fed is saying now is that, no, we're not going to do that. We have all these trillions of dollars of mortgage-backed securities we purchased in 2020 and 2021. will let them expire. So that will increase the supply for mortgage-backed securities in the market. And if there is not enough demand for these mortgage-backed securities, suddenly mortgage rates are going to rise. The Fed should change its policy. This is what Kevin Warsh is saying, who is the new chair of the Fed. It should stop buying mortgage-backed securities immediately. So now the new guy who's running the Fed, his policy is very clear that we are not going to buy these mortgage-backed securities anymore. Forget about it. So those things that we saw between 2008 up until 2022, that's not coming back. So if there is anybody that is doing wishful thinking, imagining that the interest rates or mortgage rates will go down to 3%, that's not happening. Even if the Fed tomorrow will artificially lower interest rates to 0%, mortgage rates are not coming back. Because it's not the interest rates that will determine them. If that was the case, then why did the Fed buy all of these mortgage-backed securities in 2020 and 2021? If interest rates alone would have determined the mortgage rates, what the Fed would do in 2020 and 2021 is just lower down interest rates. They did that. They realized that mortgage rates are not coming down. So they instantly went to the market and they started buying these mortgage-backed securities. And now the new chair of the Fed is making it clear, we will never do that again. So forget about high or low mortgage rates in this case. And everything that's happening today in the economy is going to boost the mortgage rates anyways. Like if you just stop for a moment, zoom out and look at the overall economy and just ask yourself very simple, mathematically logical questions, you will jump quickly to a conclusion that it is impossible for these rates to come down. In fact, they will continue rising. The first thing I want you to pay attention to is inflation data. So inflation right now went from 2.4% to 3.8%. Now, let's go back to the first principle of how the mortgage market works. So we create these mortgage-backed securities and we sell them to investors. Now, investors, what they do is that they will look at the real returns they can possibly make from these investments. So if inflation is 4%, then the real returns is anything what they make above that. So if mortgage rates will give you today 6%, then the real returns are 2%. So the more inflation is going to rise, the higher the returns that these investors will be asking in order for them to buy these mortgage-backed securities. And now we have almost 4% inflation. If this inflation continues because there is a war in Iran, because there is a shortage of oil in the market, because insurance prices have spiked, and there is a long list of reasons why that will continue happening, you can instantly understand that inflation will keep rising on one side, which means that your mortgage rates will rise as well. We might even go to the mortgage rates that we had back in 1970s, 80s, or 90s, which were significantly higher than the rates that we have today. Now, let me give you another simple reason. Look at this headline. Fed meeting minutes, officials look to hold rates for longer. Consider hikes if inflation remains high. The Fed is looking at the economy, and the Fed is in a position where investors are expecting the Fed to raise interest rates because there is higher inflation. Again, you don't have to be a genius to understand. If the Fed will raise the general interest rate in the economy, suddenly everybody will expect that you should supposed to make more money from debt. So mortgage rates will rise again. Now that is the worst case scenario. So if we are considering raising interest rates, then certainly nobody is talking about even lowering rates. In the best case scenario, they will just hold the rates the way they are today. Demand for long-term US debt gets weaker as one shock after another stocks fear that high inflation is here to stay. So the biggest debt market in the world is the US Treasury market, and that's the first priority of the Fed and the US government. Now, if there is a weak demand for the US debt, guess what happens to the mortgage demand? Of course, the demand for mortgage-backed securities will be significantly lower. Now, in the market, we have different kind of assets. We have assets that we consider risk-free assets. These are US Treasuries. So when you are buying US Treasuries, you can expect that you're not taking any risk. Why? Because you are buying a US government debt and the US government is the source of the dollar. You are buying using the US dollar. So it is impossible for this debt to ever be defaulted. Now, any investment above that or besides the US Treasuries should offer you a higher interest rate. If it's debt, then you're expecting it to offer a higher yield. So if it's an investment in the US housing market, then mortgage-backed securities should always offer a higher interest rate than the US Treasuries. So if there is no demand for the US Treasuries, if the US government is struggling to raise money by selling US Treasuries, so the yields on the US Treasuries rise, the logical consequences of that is that the yields on the mortgage-backed securities will rise, and that means that your mortgage rate is going to rise. And this has been already happening. And now if you also consider the fact that the war in Iran gets even more uglier, that will cost the US government even more, they are already trying to pass a bill that they will increase Pentagon's budget by $500 billion to $1.5 trillion. That will significantly raise the deficit. Again, that means that the US government will have to offer higher yields to attract these investors, and the yields on the US Treasuries will rise. That will lead to higher yield for the mortgage-backed securities. Do you see how the government is making it impossible basically for the yields to ever go down? And in fact, everything that's happening right now is simply leading us to one logical conclusion: higher interest rates, higher mortgage rates. So the only thing that you can expect right now is that expect mortgages to rise. The next year, they will probably be like 7%, 7.5%. Of course, I'm not talking about mortgage rates of 10%, but even 0.5% is a huge difference for the average person. Because at the end of the day, on one side, house prices have significantly risen, and now mortgage rates will rise even higher. So the average person will have lesser options to buy houses. One way you can protect yourself is to understand how the markets works, how Wall Street invest, so that you can use this knowledge, analyze the market, and find very good opportunities for yourself. And right now, you can join the Investing Academy completely for free. We have free spots left, so if you use the link in the description of this video, you will be able to join the Investing Academy, understand how the markets works, and that knowledge will help you to understand how to analyze the market and take far better financial decisions. The link is in the description of this video.